Have you ever thought of building your own country and being its president or king or emperor? Well, what if I tell you that somewhere in Africa there is a land that is not claimed by any nation, does not belong to any sovereignty, and is just waiting for you to be its king? As common to conflicts and territorial disputes, our story begins with the British. Egypt and Sudan are both British colonies as early as 1882 and 1890, respectively. In 1899, during the Anglo-Egyptian Condominium, the British has taken the responsibility of drawing the border between the colonies. They can't think of any significant basis for the border, so they've just drew a straight line running across the 22nd parallel north, ignoring any ethnic group or tribal boundaries. They call this the political boundary. However, in 1902, the British realized the wrong thing about the border that they've just drawn 3 years ago, so they have to fix it and drew another one. They call this new border the administrative boundary. But have they really fixed it? No. The two border cause dispute. When you combine both border, it creates this: a land that everybody wants, called the Hala'ib triangle, and a land that nobody wants, called Bir Tawil. I'll explain why. When Egypt gained independence in 1953, it recognized the political boundary to be its official border with Sudan. Why? Because the administrative boundary that the British drew in 1902 doesn't let them to have a sovereignty in the Hala'ib triangle, which is a big chunk of land with resources and with access to a big part of the sea, which is an economic and strategic significance for them. On the other hand, 3 years later, in 1956, Sudan also gained their independence from the British, and it recognized the administrative boundary, the squiggly line that the British drew in 1902, as its official border with Egypt. With the same reason, they want the Hala'ib triangle. They want it for the same reasons too. It is big, with resources, and important for their economy. On the other hand, the two borders left this unclaimed chunk of land, bigger than London and Paris combined, called Bir Tawil. Why no one claims it, you ask? This is where Bir Tawil is. You see, since Egypt recognizes the straight line drawn by the British in 1899, it doesn't claim Bir Tawil. And since Sudan claims this squiggly line of 1902, drawn by the British, it doesn't proclaim any sovereignty in Bir Tawil. No one wants it, because claiming Bir Tawil also means surrendering their sovereignty over the Hala'ib triangle, and claiming Bir Tawil is recognizing the recognized border of the other country. So until today, no one claims the Bir Tawil. Unclaimed, no one owns it, and you can go in Africa right away and claim it as your own country. However, I forgot to mention one thing about this unclaimed land. Bir Tawil is sand. A 2,000 square kilometers large portion of Sahara Desert. It has nothing with it. No trees, no lakes, no rivers, not even an oasis. Nothing. Just sand and mountains of sand. If someone wanna claim it, they won't be able to establish a country because the land itself cannot run an economy. Anyways, I wanna ask you a question, significant on our history but completely unrelated to our topic today. In the history of the World Wars and the Cold War, before and after those events, this big chunk of land had two faces, one being Russia and two being the Soviet Union. But what is the difference between the two, aside from their names? Well, let's find that out in our next video. However, if you find this video helpful or interesting, you can consider subscribing. It will help me a lot if you did. Let's hit 120 subscribers by the end of the month. Anyways, if you've been to this end of the video, as always, comment your channel's name, I'll heart your comment, and subscribe to your channel. Thanks for watching.